And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break because we have returned with the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Asia 202. It all ends here with these two lovely and amazing players. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Here we go. We are getting into this. ByuN, of course, going for his own ByuN opener, and yeah, they both had their own kind of trials and tribulations going through this bracket, going through this tournament. ByuN, he took down Gumiho, took down Cure, as well as Cyan to get here, Terrans and a Protoss. And even then, Cyan, remember, he did put a dent in ByuN. Cyan did take a game, but ByuN still has yet to face off against a Zerg tonight. Just waiting here in the finals. Likewise, Dark, he took down Nightmare earlier, took down Solar, and took down Ryung as well. Dark going through one of each player, one of each race. But Ryung, he's a very different kind of player compared to ByuN. ByuN is a lot more aggressive, a lot more in your face. As you can see here, going for the 2-Rax Reaper on the low ground. Here we go. Now this is, of course, an opener that ByuN has really made into his own. It's a build and opener that was originally formulated and created by Special, but last year, November of last year, ByuN and Maru took that opener and kind of made it their own, refined it, and it is what you see here today. Through a lot of grueling months, trial and error, that ByuN did so courageously kind of do on his own. Oh my god, I remember the earlier days here, like I'm thinking like March, April here of this year, where ByuN, he was, struggling to make this work, or, finding success and finding some failures as well. But since then he has refined it, has since been adopted by so many other players, and there's so many different variations as well. We'll get into it. For now, first Reaper is moving out. Dark, of course, staying on 2 bases a little bit longer. He has snuck a drone out to take a third. Reaper is going to be applying some pressure, dancing with the Lings. The goal here of this 2-Rax is for map control and to delay the third base for as long as we can. Third base is delayed for a moment, but is now thrown down. And ByuN, is he going to rotate over? Is he going to get eyes on it? For now, he dives further into the natural. He wants the drone. He will not get it. Barely morphed into a Spore. ByuN, he does pivot away. He does confirm the lack of third base at the triangular location. But now he's going to be checking the linear third. Or at least he should. As no, instead he wants to go for the main. Behind this, it is going to be a 3cc variation. Third CC before starport. Third CC actually well before the factory. Good KDA charges. He trades very well here against these Lings. As we eventually are forced back. For those wondering how to defend against this, of course, the third base was delayed. We actually stayed in gas to get faster link speed, and link speed is about to kick in. Once it does, Dark can, of course, push ByuN back. He checks, he does confirm the third base location, but at this point, there's not much that ByuN can do about it. He will be forced to back off. Back at home, add-ons are on the way. We're transitioning into a third CC before starport. Or, I should say, sorry, 3cc, 2-on-1. That's maybe a better way to put it. As we're building up that Marine count, link speed has kicked in, and we want these Reapers, but ByuN, something important to bear in mind is he does lube up his Reapers ahead of time. Oh my god, it's just so hard to really get your hand on them, and the trades, the kiting, finally they go down, but look at the trades here. That was 3 Reapers for 11 Lings. I feel like that would have been a lot worse, but thankfully Dark doesn't lose too many Lings, as eventually he does shut them down, and Dark behind this is droning quite heavily. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's stuck at home. Interesting, and with this 3cc 2-on-1, he's got a couple of Hellions on the way. He doesn't go for the add-on swap. He waits a little bit here, going for a Liberator first, before going into his Medivacs. So, ByuN essentially is building up his bio account. He's going to be hitting a timing with Stim and his Medivacs, ideally pushing out with 16 Marines. Until then, Dark is free to drone. Again, Dark, he's aware that until the Medivacs come out, and it's still a ways away until the Medivacs hit the field, he is free to just drone, saturate his bases, take his gases, and chill out from here. Dark has quite a lot of breathing room. Lair in production. A very safe play here from Dark. There are some Zerg players that upon seeing a 3cc variation, they would go for faster upgrades and faster Evo chambers, but Dark is playing very safe, going lair first into a Baneling nest, delaying his upgrades. Delaying his 1-1 upgrade specifically. Again, he just wants to be safe and secure. There it is, Baneling nest is on the way. Spores as well. There's that add-on swap, and now we have those 2 medevacs in production, soon to be hitting the field with all these Marines. Again, until then, Dark has some time here to set himself up and get ready for the drop play. Hellions going to be vying for map control. They are being zoned away. Liberator queued up to go into the main. And now finally we do see those 2 Evo chambers. We should be working towards Baneling speed now that the lair is done, and then getting into 1-1. Oh, actually 1-1 first, never mind. A couple of workers are going down. 2, 3 drones. And here comes that double drop on the left-hand side. The Queens are being dragged here to deal with the Liberator, which does create an opening for the drop play. As the Lib goes down, Hellions, they push into the 3rd base. Marines getting ready to maybe even deny the 4th. There's that Baneling speed on the way. Yeah, we stim on forward. Overlord's gonna go down, and it looks like can we force a cancel? Up! Lings are looking for surround. They do collapse on the army. They force a whole big up, and the base will survive for a little bit longer at least. Queens, they do hold on. ByuN getting as much damage as he can out of these Marines. The target firing, oh my god, is too good. The Banelings go down. And the Lings are going down as well. The positioning here behind the mineral line is just too damn good. ByuN, he trades so efficiently at the same time. The Hellions, they dive into the mineral line. 8 drones go down. The Queens are struggling to keep up. They do transfuse. They keep the hatchery alive. But again, we lost 8 workers in the process, and we're not done. We're soon to be done. Oh my god, it's the Hellions. They go back in again for a 2nd time. We get 11. Can they get 12? 11 drones. And with that, ByuN, he takes a worker lead. He's on 64 workers, 3 base economy. 1-1 about to kick in. 2nd factory, armory as well. ByuN, he is running away with this. God, almost barely doesn't get that Overlord. Oh, he's coming back for it. Okay, he's getting the hell out of here. Pulling back home. Medevac survived. ByuN throws down a 4th CC, so he's not going for a 3 base all in. He's just getting further ahead. Meanwhile, Dark is just redroning as quickly as possible. 2-2 on the horizon. Hydrogen was thrown down. Queens, they do keep up with the medevac, but here comes the push. How many tanks do we have? 2 tanks. Not too many. Oh, the Sim City here is just insane. The Banelings, they cannot crash in. Here comes the push from ByuN. He's up 20 supply. He does have a bit of creep to work through. But Dark, he is struggling. He needs to buy some time here. He needs at least 40 Lings. They're in production. At the same time, the Banelings are struggling to get anything here. Again, the Sim City just doesn't allow the Banelings to get any economic damage done. And ByuN is reinforcing. Now, he is giving Dark a lot of time. So Dark, he is amassing quite a large Ling force. He's going for a counterattack. Only Banelings to defend. Oh! ByuN! Oh, he does kite back. Off of creep does take a Baneling to the face. But he can keep on pushing, and where the Banelings, most of them are gone. There's only a handful left. This base is going to get broken. At the same time, Dark getting ready for a counterattack. But he loses his 4th. And is this worth it? The Banelings, they crash in. They try to. The wall goes down, and we bust into the mineral line, but we have reinforcements. We have reinforcements back at home, and this was not worth it. Dark lost the base, and he gets 2 SCVs. ByuN, from here, he can rotate back around. The tanks are a little bit exposed, and Dark, he wants them. He wants the tanks. He's gonna get 1. 1 tank does fall. Dark once again getting ready for another run by. Fourth base is being taken for ByuN. ByuN maintaining his economic lead. Dark still trying to get his own fourth up and running. Is behind. He still has a lot of Ling Bane available though. He's pushing in into tank lines. And he does get on top of two of those tanks. Good trade here from Dark. He got on top of one tank. Never mind. The other barely survived. And ByuN is snowballing out of control. He's maxed out at this point. He's at 200 supply. Dark may have 80 workers, but he's not mining efficiently. He doesn't have the economy to sustain these losses. He cannot max out. ByuN working towards 3-3. Dark still finishing up his hive as well. Fifth base is going to be denied. Dark trying to go for a counterattack once again. Drop into the main. Bit of an overextension here from ByuN. Does lose a drop. God, and this position is just so heavily fortified. Dark, he's hoping to catch reinforcements or even go for a counterattack, but he just can't. Here we go. Dark eventually will collapse on this position. He comes in from behind. Oh, the tank shots of the Bailings! They're insane. 2 medics will escape. Still an efficient trade from ByuN. He's going for the queens, and he's going to get every single queen here. And as this army gets cleaned up, eventually it will. ByuN is coming in with his second force, denying the fourth base again for a second time. Just containing Dark to 3 bases perpetually. Just cannot expand. Cannot get a fourth up and running. Just not possible. Dark, he's just gotten too much momentum over the course of this game, and because of that, he just, is denying the fourth over and over again. It just cannot finish. It will not finish. Not this game. And eventually, ByuN, he will be able to push in and break this third. He's being very careful, very meticulous. Slowly pushing forward here with his tanks. Aliens, they try to crash in. Decent Bailey connections, but it's not going to be good enough here as ByuN does break Dark, does take game number 1. GG. GG, well played again. ByuN, by no means was he all in or anything. Remember, he took a fourth base pretty quickly. ByuN, he was working on his fourth base. He was just working and building up towards his push. It all started with the double drop. It all started with that 16 medevac double drop. ByuN traded so well early on against the Lings, against the Bailings. And he was able to set himself up to just keep on pushing. It wasn't even with the double drop. If you remember, it was the double drop that was distracting Dark, trading well, and allowing the Hellions to wreak havoc, to roast up a mineral line, and that eventually led into the follow-up push. And yeah, ByuN, once he gets the ball rolling, hard to stop. Hard to stop, and Dark was on the back foot from almost the beginning. And now we're getting into game number 2. Now, it's a best of 5. We have plenty of room here to recover and to go back and forth. I do expect this to go the distance and to go to at least game 4, maybe even game 5. But Side Delta was fully in control of ByuN. And now here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hardlead. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing DragonKy Gaming. It is Dark. And to kind of put things into context as well, to be fair, when it comes to the first push of ByuN with the 2 tanks, if you remember, in the midst of that push, Dark did go for a counterattack. Well, he was threatening a counterattack with a lot of Lings, with a lot of Bailings, and they never got anything done. They couldn't get anything done. So he kind of had forfeited some of his defensive capabilities in favor of going for a counterattack and crippling the economy, and it's something that just didn't come to pass. Did not come to fruition, and ByuN, he was able to just capitalize on that fact. And here we go. Now we're getting into game 2. Once again, ByuN going for the low ground 2 racks. Now, again, there are different variations. In the last game, if you remember, winding it back, ByuN did go for a 3cc 2-on-1 economic follow-up after this initial Reaper aggression. But he can also go for a 3 racks, he can go for a 4 racks, he can go 3 racks mass Reaper. ByuN, he's got options. And he's damn good at all of them. Meanwhile, Dark is just going for a hatch gas pool. No early pool timing, no early roach warren, no early game aggression. Now, this is something that Dark learned the hard way early on in the year. I mentioned before how ByuN was kind of taking this build through the ringer and really refining it over time. And early on, like I'm talking around March, April, Dark was making fun of ByuN because it was constantly going for this and it just wasn't working. And Dark found out the hard way that roach rushing against this doesn't work. Against ByuN, it just does not work. ByuN, he's so quick at scouting, reacting, throwing down a bunker here in front of the add-ons, getting into marauder production, and shutting down any kind of roach aggression. So that style that Dark is quite fond of in this matchup. Like, Dark, if you know anything about Dark in ZVT, you know that he loves his roaches, especially early on. That's kind of stripped away against ByuN. It is an opener and a build that isn't really an option for Dark here in this matchup, specifically against ByuN, as Reapers do rock up. Oof, we do lose a Reaper already though, a big overextension. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN, flying too close to the sun. Flying too close to the Dark there, did get burned. Gonna try and go back in, but again, the Lings are in position. And ByuN is transitioning. Queens are moving in back at home. That's a 3rd CC. So very similar setup. It's going to be a 3cc 2-on-1. So very economic here by ByuN. And just like the last game, outside of these Reapers, Dark, he's going to have a lot of room to himself to just drone up, to spread creep, and to establish his bases. Ooh, Tumor does go down though. Ay, ay, ay. That's a pretty big pickoff actually. Slowing down the creep this early on. Overlord dives in. Overlord does confirm the timing of the CC as well as the starport. So Dark does see everything, does know everything. Dark is going to be moving out with his Lings. He did shut down one of those Reapers. He can maybe threaten these add-ons. It does go straight for the straight for the reactor. Reapers are doing their best and they will end up zoning away those Lings. Dark will be zoned away. And from here, again, he's just going to be establishing his bases, droning up, spreading his creep, and getting his Queens up and running as well. Ooh, meanwhile, we saw something very different here. That was, I swear to God, I saw a reactor. I saw a reactor on that factory, but no, we have a tech lab instead. We're going for 3cc, yes, but a Banshee variation. Delayed medevacs. Delayed medevacs, delayed bio push. This is something that both ByuN and Maru are very fond of. So, okay. I always talk about this. But the reason why this is so smart and this works so well, Dark, he saw the add-on earlier. I believe he saw the reactor and, of course, all the production. And Dark, I'm sure, is ready for medevacs. The last thing he's expecting is Banshees. So there is no reason to get spores. We should be cutting spores here. As a result, there's so much potential for these Banshees to get damage done. We have one Banshee, we have a second Banshee on the way as well. They're designed to catch Dark completely off guard and to wreak havoc in these mineral lines. We have a spore on the way. You can see these spores are actually positioned to deal with Liberators, not with Banshees. We have a spore here on the edge of the main, and we have a spore, I believe, in the edge, yep, of the 3rd. The natural has a spore in the center as well. Okay, so Dark, thankfully, he's not cutting too many corners. These Banshees, they have potential for damage, but Dark, he's aware of this. He's not aware that Banshees are coming, but he's aware of the potential for Banshees, and he's even repositioning. Very nicely done. So, again, these Banshees are going to be moving out. It's going to be that much more difficult for them to get damage done. And we're getting into those medevacs. Banshees move out. Another tell here is the lack of Hellions, and yeah, the Banshees are revealed. Lings do spot them. Overseers on the way. The Queens are all coming together. And Dark is ready for this. good target firing it up. Oh, can we get it? We cannot. The Overseer is still on the way. As the Banshees are deflected. And does no damage. Meanwhile, here we go. ByuN is going to be pushing. The Medevacs are slightly behind the army, but should be meeting up soon. And Dark did well defending against the Banshees, but what about the Bio army? We have Roaches to respond, and quite a lot of Roaches at that. We're going to force ByuN back. Reapers go down. ByuN pushing in a little bit prematurely before his Medevacs arrives. Does lose some Marines. And is forced back. Dark going into a very fast infestation bit. 1-1 is on the way. Melee, not range. So even though Dark started with Roaches, he is going to be getting into Lingbane. So Roaches just to support, just for the early game. Then into Lingbane afterwards. And Ravagers as well. For now though, Dark has had a much stronger early game. It also helps that Dark didn't have to keep up with Hellions. There were no Hellions out this time from ByuN. Just because of the build. Dark has been able to maintain his worker counts. Marines dive in, they clear up a lot of creep, but they don't get much more than that. As the double drop is forced back. We have some safety infestors on the way. Again, with the new patch, infestors, they do spawn in with enough energy for a fungal. Dark trying to be a little bit cheeky. Behind this, ByuN working towards his three-way setup. Second factory is on the way. Gases as well. ByuN, sorry, should soon be throwing down a Fort CC. Should soon be taking up. This +2 is on the way. We scan the main base. We get eyes on the would-be hive. ByuN aware of the hive tech. He now has the foresight to start working towards Ghosts or Ghost Academy. There's a Fort CC now thrown down. And we're easing ourselves into a longer game. Into a more back and forth. Banshees dive in. I love this. The hive is almost done, but Dark, he throws down the Spire. Very out of left field. Spire is on the way instead. To get into Mutas. Again, I like this because ByuN, I'm sure, is thinking of hive tech units and hive tech available now for Dark. Less so Muta production. Now Dark does zone back those Banshees. Is going to take control of his fifth base up and running. Double drop still being active, and ByuN, he's just building up his forces back at home. He's just slowly working on this tank force here as he's pushing through the center. ByuN, he's close to maxing out. And Vipers, they just now get started. Oh, the Vipers, they are late. And without Vipers, it's going to be so difficult to deal with this. The Infestors, good. First Fungal does get baited. Dark getting ready for a surround. Trying to collapse on this position. ByuN sees it. And he backs off. I appreciate it. I respect it. ByuN, he backs off instead. Takes a more defensive position back at home. He's still waiting for 2-2 to kick in. So no reason to attack and go for an anti-timing. May as well wait for our upgrades. And we are going straight for the Greater Spire. Interesting. So when I saw the Spire, I know I said Mutas. I was thinking, but the reason why I said that is it'd be crazy if Dark were to rush into a Greater Spire, right? It's like, you don't really get to see Broodlord rushes that much, that often, but he is taking in that direction. Greater Spire is on the way. Now, whether or not he makes use of it, we'll see. As ByuN still is working on his Ghost Academy, still is not done. Broodlords, they could be quite effective. Let's say that double drop into the main base. Powerbomb's going to be going off, and ByuN, will he go far enough to see the Greater Spire? Medevacs do go down. And ByuN is going to get cleaned up. He's trading very well, actually. Oh my god. Trading very efficiently. Good target firing. 10 workers go down. ByuN is working on those ghosts. Meanwhile, Dark actually doesn't have the supply to get into Corruptors or Broodlords. He's working on +1 air attack, but hasn't invested yet. So there we go, 9 Corruptors are on the way. Ah, the Brood, let's go. The Broodlords are soon to be upon us. Dark so far, maintaining map control, keeping the creep up to the halfway point. Encroaching the bases here of ByuN. Getting another base up and running as well. ByuN just going to rotate around, taking another base. Unfortunately, he had... no, sorry, he saw it. Oh my god. Looks like he barely did get eyes on the Greater Spire. So he is aware. Turrets are on the way. That's a lot of turrets in the main base. Widow Mines, Ghosts. Not too many Vikings yet. But ByuN, he's just completely walling off, completely turtling up. Getting up to 5 CCs. And waiting for Dark to push into him. God, this area is just so wide open. The Broodlords have been revealed. Good snipe. One Broodlord goes down. Trying to rotate around, trying to get a better angle of attack. Oh, that's 2 Broodlords going down. Oh, the mine! Oof. Widow Mine does soften up, but you can see the Infestors there ready to try to dive on those ghosts. We're ready for the Fungals. Here we go, the Viper's pushing forward as well. Big Fungal in the army! We still have another Fungal in the chamber as well. And here we go, Dark, he's going to be collapsing in this position with the Ling Bane. Powerbomb on the Medivacs. The Bio army does pull back. And the Bailings, they will not reach the Marines. Barely they don't. And with that, ByuN, he can stim on forward. Doesn't quite get on top of the Broodlords, though. They're helping, covering the Roach Ravager. The CC taking a lot of hits. Up! The Orbital does go down. The repair is not in time. Good EMP on the Infestor. But we have reinforcements on the way. Up! The Vials. Oh my god, ByuN getting a CC on location, so bold. He's crazy. But he's breaking on through again. Bailings are still in production. They're not done yet. We're looking for a Fungal. We don't get one. As ByuN, he just cannot push into that. He has to back off. He has to retreat to his tanks. Bailings, they finish just in time. Whew. And as the dust does settle, Dark, I didn't realize, basically a super maxed army. He hasn't really been droning too much. Now going to be building up his worker count. He lost a lot of Roach Ravager. He's replacing it with Ling Bane. We are down to 6 Broodlords. We lost 3 over the course of that fight. No. Snipes go off. Another Broodlord goes down. Quick reaction there. Quick split from those parasitic balls. Oh no! We bring them together. Oof. 2, 3 Medivacs go down. At the same time, a big Ling Bane counterattack crashes into the 4th base. 22 workers go down. The planetary as well. Yeah, and Dark is now the one in control. Creep spreading all around the map. The Broodlord standing strong. And we're getting ready for another run by. I'm gonna lower the lights. Okay, we're good. My eyes were burning. Okay, we good. And yeah, Dark, he can just remax and just keep going. Not the best trade here on this tank, but at the same time, he's going for the center base, and another planetary is gonna fall. Just pulling ByuN apart over and over again. Once one base falls, the others, they're not gonna be lasting too much longer. Again, this area is just so wide open. It's so difficult to really get any SimCity going for the Terran. And Dark has just taken full advantage of that. We have Thors on the way, ship weapons as well. ByuN is trying to keep up, but Dark is getting ready for another Ling Bane run by here on the right-hand side. Or even towards the center. I mean, pick and choose. We can go for whatever we want. He's going for the center base. CC is lifted. We go for the ghosts. No. Ghosts are going to survive, but I can't say the same for the for the SCVs. Even borrow a Ling as well, being as annoying as possible. 16 SCVs go down. Darky just rotates around. Tank is exposed. We got the tank, the Broodlords, they push in from the head side. This is an overextension. Broodlords are going to get sniped. A good moment here for ByuN. Definitely a good moment, but... oh my god. Has to be careful not to overextend. He does reset the Broodlord count for the most part, which is nice, but I don't think we care about that anymore. It's all about the Ling Bane. Behind this, Dark has been able to drone up. He's even taking some of ByuN's bases. Isn't mining from them yet, but we're working on it. And Darky's building up a bank. At this point, he can be taking up even further into an Ultra Cavern, into Lurkers, just to have that tech available if he ever needs it. Once again, diving on the right-hand side. They're going straight for the mineral line. We're trying to go straight for the mineral line. Goes for the ghost instead. Doesn't get the ghost, but does get 10 SCVs. At the same time, we're getting ready on the left-hand side. Just over and over again. Non-stop aggression from Dark. And ByuN, he's just trying to hold on. Dark also has to make sure that he's keeping up with his injects as well. Running out of lava. It's taking him a little bit longer to remax. He's also burning through his bank. Minerals are running out. Dark going or reinvesting into Broodlords once again. Corruptors are on the way. Soon to be Broodlords. ByuN, can he stabilize? I mean, the ghost count has been slowly getting higher and higher. We're up to 17 ghosts. Okay, so there's a world. There's a world where if ByuN is able to take like maybe two good fights on his terms. 2 good fights on his terms here. He was able to trade efficiently enough. Can he then counterattack? I mean, the answer is yes, he can. The ghost, no! Not like this, though. A couple of ghosts go down. We need to preserve them. We need to keep these ghosts alive. They're the only chance that ByuN has in this game. Lings come in. They do get a Thor, but that's a lot of Lings going down. That's 50 Lings for 1 Thor and 2 ghosts. Oh my god. This is what I mean, like Dark, he's burning through his mineral bank quite quickly. It's not the trade we really wanted. Pushing forward, denying the space. Even though the space was under control of Dark for quite some time, he wasn't mining. Didn't mine from it. Didn't take any resources from his opponent. The tanks are pushing forward. This tank should go down. Oof. Snipe's going to be trying to go off, but the fungal does connect. 3, 4, 5 ghosts. Ay, ay, ay. At the same time, we have a Ling run by attempted. Doesn't quite succeed. That was 7 ghosts dying, by the way. And the Broodlords are breaking through. A bit of an overextension from some of these infestors, but regardless, we land the fungals. And the Broodlords, they're reigning supreme. Again, no snipes whatsoever. The fungals, they land so well. And GG gets called. Dark will fight back in this series. He does take game number 2, tying it up 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Oh, Dark gaining, or just rushing to that hive, rushing into Broodlords as well. And that 9 Broodlord timing did so well for him, just containing ByuN, keeping his attention on that triangular third base. At the same time, was able to take down the planetary, and once the bases started falling, that's when Dark was able to gain map control, gain momentum, and never let it go. GG. I was concerned that maybe Dark would trade a little bit too inefficiently over time, and he would maybe throw away too much, like trying to break into some of these bases, but in the end, he was able to trade well enough. Caught a lot of ghosts there, and GG. GG. With that, we have a tied-up series. We have a back and forth. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted out of this map. And here we go. We're getting into game number 3 to determine who takes the lead in the series. And game 3 is going to be taking place on Golden Aura. This is going to be an interesting one. Short Rush is the bike round. This is true. But the bases are so close-knit, so tight-knit, so close together that more often than not, it can be quite difficult to break a defending player. We have seen a lot of split map scenarios on Golden Aura. But here we go. We're getting into game 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. Oh boy, I need a moment here. Okay, so essentially we've had games here where both players have had their kind of time in the sun. Game 1, ByuN was looking dominant. ByuN, as soon as he got the ball rolling, as soon as ByuN denied the 4th base of Dark, and also killed a bunch of workers, to be fair, he just never allowed Dark to establish a 4th base ever again, and Side Delta was just easily in the hands of ByuN. In game number 2, on Hard Lead, we kind of had the inverse there, where Dark was able to deny, yeah, likewise, not the 4th, but the 5th base. The 5th base of ByuN over and over and over again. Planetaries falling, SCVs going down, just never allowing ByuN to max. That was important. ByuN, he was never able to fully max out and get into his ideal army composition. Time and time again, his economy was crippled. Dark hitting a very strong timing with hitting a very strong timing with his Hive Tech with those Broodlords. Of course, once the rocks got knocked down, it was just so difficult for ByuN to really establish himself. Again, we'll see how things differ here. Game number 3. For now, Hatch Gas Pool. No, sorry, I meant to say something else. Not quite a Hatch Gas Pool opener. This is something very unique. I say very unique to Dark. There have been some Zerg players that have been following suit. So Dark went gasless. There's a gasless opener here from Dark. We're rushing into a much faster 3rd. This is something very unique to Golden Aura. This is very map dependent. So if you're a Zerg player out there, if you're like, oh, yo, Dark, he's going gasless? Is this a thing? Kind of. It's a thing on this map. We've seen gasless openers specifically. Oh, as the drone is going to go down. Big pickle. Gasless openers, they're viable on Radisson Station, and they're also viable here on Golden Aura. The reason for this is because, I mentioned before, some of the features of this map is because these bases are so close together, because they're so tight-knit, and because the entry points here are actually very, very narrow. You can defend with queens. You can defend with purely queens. It means that you can cut gases, you can cut link speed, and as the game progresses, even with Reapers, even with Hellions, ByuN is going to have a hard time getting past the wall of queens, getting past the defensive line into mineral lines. So you can afford to cut corners. Dark, he would open up in this way very often on Near Humanity. In the previous map pool, Near Humanity was very similar. Because of the linear base, you can, again, very easily defend with only queens and slowlings on Near Humanity. Likewise, same here on Golden Aura. So again, Dark is just very fond of, he doesn't always, it's not like 100% he goes gasless here on Golden Aura, it's like 80% of the time. The majority of the time against Terran. Meanwhile, back at home, once again, is going to be a 3cc 2-1-1 here from ByuN. Winding it back even further, last game, if you remember, ByuN did open up Banshees in the last game, and it wasn't really worth it. The Banshees didn't get too much done. Dark was able to, Dark didn't scout it, but he was able to throw down spores and have plenty of detection, and he just shut down the Banshees well ahead of time. As once again, we're going for an add-on swap with the Tech Lab. Okay, ByuN, he wants to try it again. As, oh, never mind, it is not Banshees, it's going to be a Raven opener. Okay, ByuN, he's been listening to Twitch chat. Let's go. Why do you keep scanning? Just make a Raven forehead. True. Just a Raven opener here, or a Raven follow-up from ByuN. Very unique. You love to see it. Other thing I was going to mention is that typically when you open up gasless, because you're delaying your link speed for so long, typically it's not worth investing in link speed and you just go straight for roaches. So it's going to be a roach follow-up. Lair is on the way. Roaches are in production. And ByuN is being forced back. Behind this, we have our first Raven moving out. Lair on the way. Again, should just be for roach speed and to get into additional upgrades. Evo Chambers on the way as well. Now, this should be leading into eventually Ling Bane, like Roach Ling Bane, but we'll see if Dark goes into a different direction instead. For now, here comes that stim timing. ByuN pulls back. The starport I don't think was meant to float this far out. So bit of a misstep there. As we go, medevacs are finally on the way, and this is what I was curious about. That is +1 range, not +1 melee. Dark is going Roach Ravager. Infestation Bit is thrown down. Is he going to go Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker? It's possible. Oh no! As Dark does overextend off of creep, Roach is going to be going down 3 roaches. We're going to get 4. We're going to get 5. This is getting a bit out of hand. We do transfuse just in time. And ByuN, honestly, he could have kept pushing. There was not much here to defend. But he does take a more reserved approach. He backs off. He wants to wait for his medevacs to rock up. He's content with how well he traded. Again, that was 4 roaches for 3 marines. Very efficient trades here from ByuN. And yep, there it is. There's a Hydra Den. So it is Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker Viper. Let's go. I'm ready for it. At least that's what it's looking to be. Marines, they stem on 4. They're going to be able to focus down on quite a number of these roaches. Oh my god. Before we can think about Hydras and Lurkers, Dark, he's struggling. Roaches are going down, and Ravager is denied. Drones are falling as well. ByuN, he's getting out of hand. Dark maybe cutting a few too many corners. In between the bases, Auto Harass gets a couple of drones. Not too many. 2 workers go down. But more importantly, Dark was distracted. Hive is on the way. Show us the Lurker Den. There it is. Lurker Den gets thrown down. So Dark, he's just trying to rush into those Lurkers. That's a second Lurker Den? Okay. Cool. Is that intentional? I don't think that's I mean, sure, we can get I understand we can get 2 upgrades at a time, you know, it's great, it's beautiful. I don't think that's intentional. Regardless, they're on the way. Ooh, Raven does get picked off. Does go down. ByuN behind this, we do have 2 gases, second factory, and a 4cc on the way, so ByuN is not all in. He's pushing out with a bio army, yes, but he's keeping his tanks back at home. He's only looking to harass, and he does deny the 5th. So far, so good. Far, so good, and there we go. We have Gru's Spines on the way. That's, of course, Lurker range. And we did cancel, thank god. We did cancel the second Lurker Den. And it wasn't intentional. In the past, things like double Hydra, double upgrades were a thing, like for a strong timing attack. I mean, you might go all in if you will, but yeah, in current era, it's not really a thing. Especially for those Lurkers. 2 Vipers are on the way as well. Dark, he's just refining his army. He's getting to his kind of end game here, his goal. Hydras, Lurkers, and Vipers. Doom dropping to the main is going to be denied. But here comes the main army. This entire time, ByuN has been teching. But has he gotten away with it? How many Lurkers do we have? 1 Lurker in production. And the drop is coming in. Roaches are going down. Dark, has he been too greedy? Base is going to be denied. We have 5 Lurkers in production, but here we go. ByuN has arrived. Dark, he needs more time. Good fungal. Good fungal growth. Fifth base gets denied again. For a second, third time even. The lurker count is slowly getting higher and higher. Dark still being contained. That's a lot of tanks. We do get one, we get two, we get three. Oh, almost, oh my god. Almost four. As the fourth tank is going to be picked up. But what's important is that Dark, he still needs a fifth base. He needs another hatchery. He needs the larva. The production. Ooh. Another tank gets picked off almost for free. And Dark is pushing. Dark, he has maxed out. He catches some more of these. Oh, almost catches some more of these tanks. Does back off. Does respect the positioning here. The lurkers are getting within range. Oh, two more tanks. They go down for free. And ByuN's racing back home. Center tower is going to go down. He wants that tank. He's going to get it. Another tank yoinked within range of the lurkers, and I believe that's every single tank here. And against a bio army, the lurkers, they reign supreme. They're just zoning ByuN away, cutting his army in half. And we're going straight for the kill, straight for the third base. At the same time, we have a double drop, but it gets shut down. The factory is exposed. The boys are being pulled. Oh my god, no! The boys into lurkers. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 3, leading the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Ooh, Dark, he took a risk. Took a massive risk in this game. Rushing into hive tech, rushing into lurkers. It almost looked like he wasn't going to get away with it. It almost looked like ByuN was going to be able to barely break Dark before he was able to get a large enough lurker count out. But Dark held. He was able to barely hold on. The Vipers came out just in time to shut down the tank push. And sure, Dark may have been losing his fifth over and over and over again. But what's important is that he was able to maintain his army and survive long enough to get into lurkers, into Vipers, into his counterattack. It was pretty all in, essentially. Like, if Dark was stopped then and there, then ByuN would outscale him, or ByuN would be able to stabilize, and again, if ByuN found a better foothold back at home, Dark wouldn't really be able to push forward and break him. So very committed, especially considering that the additional bases just were denied over and over and over again. But yeah, Dark, he was able to pull it off. GG, well played. With that, Dark, he needs one more game here to take it all, to take the series. Uno más. Is so close. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. He needs to fight back here and now to force the A smash. The pressure is on. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. One game away from becoming this week's ESL Open Cup champion for the region of Asia, as ByuN, for the first time this series, he is not going for the low ground 2 racks. CC first, right? Yep, he's going for a CC first instead. Wild. Going for a very different opener, and this makes sense. CC firsts are, or they have become a little bit more commonplace, specifically on this map. This map is very large, a lot of bases to be taken. The rush distance by ground is very long as well. So we have seen a lot of Terran players take a risk and just cut corners, be greedy like this. CC first into racks, so a very economic opener here out of ByuN. Meanwhile, Dark going for a hatch gas pool. And again, Dark, he's been conditioned not to go for early pools. Against any other player, we would see one, but because Dark has been going for these Reaper-based openers, early pools they get shut down by them so well. So ByuN, he takes a risk, and he's going to be able to get away with it. I say early pool. Like, this isn't really punished by an early spawning pool. This is punished by something like an early Roach Warren, which requires an early pool. early gas even. But regardless, ByuN should be able to get away with this, even going Marine first. And Dark is none the wiser. His overlords are still moving out. He's still trying to get a read on what exactly is happening. We're going CC into Rax, into Factory, into, I imagine, a third CC. Now, we have seen ByuN cut even more corners and skip the Marine. Thankfully, we have one Marine to defend. Not the most to defend, but, you know, one Marine nonetheless. We have a Scouting Ling moving out. Overlord does confirm the lack of wall, but he didn't check. Or the Overlord did not check the timing of the CC, so Dark is still not aware of how greedy his opponent's been, but there we go. We do confirm that the CC is done. Dark now knows. He knows that ByuN has been quite a greedy boy. And interesting, we're getting into a 1-1-1 follow-up. Okay, so we have a greedy start leading into something that's more aggressive in nature. Curious. This is going to be a delayed third from ByuN. And we have seen ByuN go for 2 base all-ins before in this matchup. It is not unheard of. Both ByuN and Maru. Unfortunately. Like, it's... I mean, that's how Maru got knocked out of GSL, you know, failed all-ins. But yeah, 2 base all-in is on the table. We'll see if ByuN does go for it. For now, just a 1-1-1, an aggressive opener. It is going to be Cloak Banshees here from ByuN. Meanwhile, back at home, Dark throwing down a Roach Warren here. Sub 4 minutes. He's going to be rushing into those Roaches. Which again is a very Dark thing to do. Behind this, Stim is on the way. Aliens are moving out. Getting a read on things, just trying to keep tabs here on Dark. Maybe even catch some transferring workers. Up! Gets one. Oh, and we're just diving on it. We just don't care. We go straight for the main base. The Lings get roasted, and we did not have a lot of Lings to defend. Dark cutting his own corners is punished for it. Dark, he skipped out on Lings. 4 workers go down. Barely not a 5th. Behind this, though, the Overlord dove all the way into the main base, confirming the delayed third TC. And Dark should be getting ready for the would-be Banshees. There we go. Spores immediately on the way. Spore in every single mineral line, in every single base. The Banshees have arrived. Clutch transfuse. Uh-oh. The Hellions have arrived as well, but we have some leftover Lings. We should be able to deal with this. We do hold. And ByuN is going for a third CC behind this. So again, just still focusing on his economy, or now getting into his economy. The Banshee barely does escape. And the game will settle from here. I mean, I say that, ByuN still has a marauding force of Hellions, and he still has 2 Banshees alive. He's still threatening the bases, but he cannot type in. Not this time. Does have to respect the position here and respect Dark. Spores are repositioning. We have a Banshee pushing towards the main. Second Banshee racing back home to repair. There is done. We're getting into double evo chambers. Roach speed on the way. Banshee is being forced back. And again, the game is going to be settling. We have a decent setup. We have a 5-rack setup here on 3 bases, which is pretty standard for ByuN. Going to be saturating that third. Getting into a longer game. Likewise, Dark is also trying to establish himself as well. His drone count is less than ideal just because of the constant Hellion and Banshee harass. He's been forced to make extra units, extra Roaches, extra Lings. This has been eating into the economy of Dark. His economy less than ideal. So after this early game, after the first 6 minutes here, I do want to give the edge to ByuN. I do want to say that he has the better economy currently. And because he still has both Banshees alive, I mean, even if we did see a Roach push from Dark, I do want to say that ByuN can deal with it. Oh my god, as the Banshees, they wreak havoc, getting another 4 workers. ByuN, he has an economic lead, and he maintains that economic lead as well. Ahead in workers. Dark, going to be taking up. Infestation bit's on the way. It's going to be for Hive Tech. This infestation bit is a little bit delayed compared to what we've seen previously in this series. But it's on the way nonetheless. +1 range in production. So Dark rushing into lurkers is on the table once again. Hydra Lurker Viper, it is an option. But I feel like before we can think about that, we need spellcasters, infestors, and vipers, because ByuN has taken the lead, and that's being translated here into an army lead. There it is. Hydrogen's on the way. It looks like Dark once again wants to get into lurkers, but before we can think about lurkers, ByuN is pushing. 1-1 is now done. Looks like ByuN is just taking control of the Zonaga, just maintaining control of the center of the map. Meanwhile, Dark, Hive on the way. Hydrogen, soon to be Lurker Den. The Vials. No, quite going to be connecting. Forcing ByuN back, but that's a lot of Marines. What's our army looking like? 44 Marines, 4 tanks. ByuN behind this has taken his gases. Second factory. We should be seeing a 4th CC soon. ByuN is still on 5 Raxes. The Vials. Are going to be slowing ByuN down. And there it is. I was wondering, I was like, we should have a 4th by now. What's going on? What's happening? There it is. 4th CC on the occasion, but the Lings are here. The Lings, they will delay the 4th. There it is. It's now thrown down in between the bases. ByuN is not all in, but he's been taking his time. Now the Hive is done. Dark hyper-fixated on this attack though, and he's going for the surround. He comes in from behind. He gets on top of the tanks as well. There are no Bailings, but you know what? We don't need Bailings with these Fungals. The Fungals connect, and we just completely shut this army down. And now Dark, he can go for a massive counterattack. And what do we have back at home to defend? We have 1 tank. We have a wall here at the 3rd. And Dark backs off. He doesn't commit. He could. He 100% he could. He could push out, but instead he's more concerned about the Lunkers, Papi. Lunker Den gets thrown down. Vipers are on the way. Hydra upgrades. Saturation, taking a 6th base. Sorry, taking the 5th base even. Dark, instead of risking it all by pushing up a ramp, and we have spoken about this before, this 3-base setup, this 4-base setup even, is very difficult to break. It's very heavily fortified. Dark, he doesn't want to risk it. Doesn't want to take a chance. He backs off. He's going for a more secure road to victory. Now, as he's securing himself, as he's stabilizing, we have ByuN with a triple drop. Triple drop on the right-hand side. Ooh, these mineral patches have been mined through, which means we can push into that base. Oh, we're going straight for the main. Doom drop into the main base. Spores are in position. ByuN pivots away. At the same time, we have an army on the left-hand side. We are going for a multi-prong attack. For now, ByuN is forced back. He's trying to push through the center. Lurker upgrades are on the way. Oh, the tanks are going to be going down. ByuN overextending a little bit. 1 tank does fall. We're trading our Road Ravager, but that's okay. We want to trade our Road Ravager. As another tank does get piled down. Another Roach counterattack. Oh, this is an orbital, not a planetary. ByuN being a little bit greedy here. But his bio army's in position. These roaches are going to get cleaned up. Not the best trade here from Dark. It's a little bit of a give and take here. Dark, he wanted to get rid of these roaches, but he didn't want to throw them away. The lurkers, they have been revealed. Meanwhile, we push on the right-hand side. breakthrough. We get the queen. We get the hatchery as well. But the fungals and the powerbomb combo. The triple drop is completely shot down. Maybe worth it for ByuN. He did kill a base, but we can always transfer here towards the northern base. We can always transfer our workers. As Dark is maxing out with lurkers, vipers, roach ravager, everything he needs. And ByuN recognizes that he's lost map control. He's turtling. ByuN, he's turtling up back at home. He's got 2 more orbitals, another CC on the way. This is most likely going to be a planetary to wall off. And welcome to Alkyone. Again, one of the more Mac-oriented maps, just because of how defensive you can be on these 4 bases. The 5th is a little bit more exposed, that is true. But on 4 bases, it is difficult to break. Gold base going to be going down. Oh, this hatchery as well. The lurkers come in. The hatchery. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Were they both kills? Aye. Not like this. I think this was a cancel here at least. He wants another base. Ah. This time the lurkers are in position and we will clean up these marines. At the same time, Dark is pushing. The snipes. Some big snipes are going to be going off. The tanks are not where they need to be. Here come the Vipers. Yoinking those tanks forward. Oh, 2 Vipers for 2 tanks. Not the best trade from Dark. But he is breaking in. This triangular third base is quite vulnerable here. The tank's not where they need to be. Whilst once again they take down another tank, but we're running out of Roach Ravager. Yeah, ByuN rotating everything over. ByuN doesn't lose a lot of SCVs, but he does lose the third base mining. The lurkers, they need support. Yeah, the lurkers, they're gonna be going down. This is an expensive loss here for Dark. This was his gas bank, and it's just completely... Yeah, it's all going down. Down the drain. A very efficient trade here from ByuN. He takes down 16 lurkers for 5 ghosts. Crazy. And Dark, he's burning through his bank. He has remaxed, he has rebuilt. He's hoping to catch some of these ghosts. He's pushing on forward. Liberator's going to be going down. This is going to be a much better trade here for Dark. This time with Lings and Hydras. Much better support. Jump gets across time. Hatchery is going to be going down. But we got 16, 22 SCVs. Oh my god. 24 SCVs and we're going to keep on pushing. The fungal growths, they do miss. But we want the tanks. We want the tanks, puppy, and we're going to get some of them at least. Meanwhile, that drop is not stopping. We take down 1 base. We're going for another. Do you feel like from here, Dark probably has to back off, though? The snipes are coming. The ghosts. The ghosts are popping off. Oh, as the boys are being pulled, and a lot of drones are going down. Back at home, Darky's holding. He's down to 61 workers. Likewise, ByuN down to 51 as well, but he has mules. We need to back off. We do need to give up on this position. We do rotate back around. TC being sent to the top left. It's fine. And from here, I need to give the edge to Dark. The Hydras, they do push through. He wants the Medivacs. Medivacs will escape. Now, ByuN is taking a new 4th base. Likewise, Dark also on a 4-base economy, taking a 5th. Long distance mining, though. Oh my god, the mules! The mule hammer is insane! Jesus, what? 12, 15 mules thrown down. ByuN taking a massive, or getting a massive boost to his economy. And the game here is going to shift to the right-hand side of the map instead. Whether or not Dark can break ByuN Now, this is a good thing for Dark, because we're expanding on the right-hand side, and I believe Dark, he hasn't quite seen it yet, he's not fully aware. But if he does realize that these bases are being taken, he can focus his army on the right-hand side as well and protect these bases. As ByuN is taking a 5th. I'm worried that Dark doesn't know about the 4th. I'm worried that he is unaware that ByuN is actually in a better economic position, and he's catching up. Oh, the borrowed infestors. Oh, we're looking for... He won it! A massive fungal on the army. But one fungal is not good enough. We get a second. Is 2 fungals enough? Oh my god. The detection gets shut down, and ByuN will escape. He escapes with his ghosts. These ghosts, they should be dead. It should be over. But they made it out alive. Snipes. Oh my god, no! They did so well. They did so well for themselves. They sniped the detection, the overseers. They lived through 2 fungals. And they walked into the infestors, or sorry, into the lurkers. Ay. Not like this. Oh my god. Yeah. That was actually a pretty big loss. That was what? 13 ghosts. 13 ghosts went down there. Brutal. And again, I was about to praise ByuN. I was going to praise ByuN, talking about how he's recovered. You know, he's got the space up and running, and Dark hasn't seen it. He doesn't know.
The creep tumor is under attack.
He's maxing out. A little bit less so now. As ByuN is mass expanding. ByuN's still very much so in this. We have a Nidus on the way to help try to deal with this and try to bypass the main army. Again, with this sensor tower, I'm sure Dark is fully aware of this CC as well. It's so exposed. There's nothing here, nothing to protect this base, but it's not even a planetary. But ByuN, he's getting away with it. Going for some scans. Dark waiting to max out. Bailing speed just now being researched. 20 minutes into the game. Nidus worms are on the way. ByuN, he's set up with tanks. He's going to be actually really good target firing here on the Bailings. It's going to be trading well. Additional Nidus worms on the way. Killing the Nidus. Dark getting ready to actually collapse on this position. He wants to, but the tank line is looking a little bit too strong. As ByuN is holding. Still waiting here for the moment for Dark to pull the trigger. Do we have any Vipers? We do have a couple of Vipers remaining. There we go. They're coming in. They are joining the main army. Big snipes here on some of those Hydras. Ugh. And here we go. We're going for it. Big EMP on one of the Vipers, but the Blinding Clouds will connect. We take down the tanks. We're trying to collapse on some of these ghosts as well, but they barely do escape. Oh. Most of them do. The tanks go down, but the ghosts survive. ByuN holds. He does hold on to this CC. Likewise on the right-hand side, we shut down the Nidus. And we're pushing towards some of these fringe bases. They're getting in position. Big snipes are going up. Oh my god. The snipes are insane, and almost every single lurker goes down. The ghosts, they just have their way with them. 9 lurkers falling. Reinforcements are coming in, and we should clean this up. There is no escape. And And suddenly, was this worth it here for ByuN? Both players, they lose quite a lot. But yeah, I do think it was worth it. Like, losing all those lurkers was insane. Now ByuN is pushing in. There's one lurker left on the map, going for a run by, a waddle by even. So we do see Dark trying to rotate over, but he gets caught out by this outpost, a planetary even. This one lurker putting in a lot of work, but will be sniped. I feel like if ByuN gets his score base up and running, like he's got this. 100%. We'll see if he can though. Like, again, this position is so brutal here with the turrets, tanks, and planetary as well. Dark, he's stuck with Lingbane Hydra. Lingbane Hydra isn't a bad composition, but it's a composition that's supposed to be killing bases, and we just haven't been able to. These bases, they're standing strong. It's meant to be a mobile army that goes in, snipes a base, snipes a mineral line, and gets out, and it just hasn't been happening. There's one Viper left. Without Vipers, we can't push in. And it feels like ByuN is in control. Another hatchery is going to be going down. Dark pushing through the center, going for the planetary. Oh, reinforcements. He's going to get a couple of tanks. And 2-3 tanks going to be going down. We're going for the goal base as well. Dark, he may have lost an entire base and a mineral line. But Dark is getting so much more. He's not getting SCVs, but he's getting a lot of these orbitals. The Lings, they get into the top right as well. These bases are on fire. And everything is going down. We do have a drop on the right-hand side, though. Dark, he's coming back around. Oh, the snipes! Oh my god, there's no detection. Oh no, we do have a spore. We do have a spore in position. We try to get us around, but there is still no detection available. Big snipes going up. The Vipers. As we barely do fungal. Oh my god, that was a brutal trade. A very brutal trade there for Dark. Losing 15 Hydras. And ByuN, he may have lost a lot of workers, but he's just he's just landing his CCs. The tanks! Oh my god. The tanks are exposed. The Lings, they go to town. And again, no planetaries. No planetaries, so the Lings, they just wreak havoc in the mineral lines. 7, 8, 10 SCVs. The orbital catches fire. We burrow. At the same time, Lings all over the place. And this is what I wanted out of Dark. For so long, for the past 10 minutes. Go for the Ling run by his Papi. But it's just too much. GG gets called. Dark once again taking a rough trade, losing every single Hydra. And ByuN, he does tie it up 1-1. GG, oh my god. GG, well played. I'm sorry, ByuN, he was trading so well throughout all that. For quite some time, it felt like Dark was winning. It felt like Dark was in the driver's seat, but alas, ByuN was able to settle himself, stabilize, take those bases on the right-hand side. There was that moment where he took the 4th base on the right, where it's like, oh, if this gets up and running, then ByuN, he can get back into this, and he did. He had double the army supply towards the end of the game. And Dark only had Lings. He only had Lings to work with. Nothing else. ByuN just trading so damn well, and we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game 5. Here we go. Here the Ghosts, they were trading so damn well. Dark ran out of steam. And it all ends here. It all ends on Solaris. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Fighting back hard, so hard here to force the ace match, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. Being forced into the ace match, it is Dark. Let's go. Let us go as Dark. Oh my god. For the first time this entire series, we're going gas first. Gas first out of Dark. Meanwhile, ByuN diverting back to what he does best, going for a 2-Rax opener instead on the low ground. Oh boy, 2-Rax Reaper here from ByuN against a gas first of Dark. Now, because this is Dark, this is most likely going to be leading into Roaches, but we'll see. We'll see where this all leads us. Could just be fast link speed, just for map control early on. Here we go. GG, well played, and yeah, now we're here in the ace match. Reaper's going to be moving out. Overlord's still moving out across the map as well to try to get a read on what is going on. And again, I'm really curious to see what we use with this gas. We do get link speed. We stay in gas as well. With this, we can go for a Baneling Nest, a Roach Warren. Both are available here for Dark. The Overlords do move out. And we're going through Rex Reaper. Oh my god. ByuN doubling down on his aggression here. I was catching up with the chat. I was just catching up with the chat. It is going to be 3-Rex Reaper here from ByuN. Mass Reaper. This is not all in. We do expand behind this. We should be working towards that CC momentarily. But Dark rushing into link speed takes... Oh my god, he takes down the Reaper! The question marks! Oh my god. Dark, he's ruthless. Yeah, the first Reaper goes down. That is disastrous, by the way. If anyone can speak Korean, I would love to know what ByuN is saying here about that. Oh my god. Meanwhile, the Overlords, they do confirm as well. They confirm the 3rd Rax. And the CC that's on the way. You can see ByuN losing momentum. He just comes back home. Of course, he saw the gases as well. Link speed is about to kick in. And ByuN is stuck at home here defending, transitioning. And Dark is free to drone. He's free to saturate his bases, spread his creep, and get into this. Oof. Here we go. For those wondering, Dark and ByuN, they banter quite a bit, actually. There have been quite a number of games where they do banter, even inside the games themselves, not just outside. Behind this, we're getting into our factory follow-up as well. Add-on, Stim, Reactor. Again, because of link speed, Dark, he's able to maintain control. He's going straight for Stim. Doesn't get it. Does not deny it. As behind this, Dark is making use of that gas. I was curious because we've been banking up so much gas and we are going for a Roach Warren. Roach Warren is on the way. Lings are vying for map control. Joining up behind this. And yeah, ByuN, he's just stuck at home. He's just being contained. Stuck at home on 2 bases. 3rd base being taken. And the game is going to be settling down from here. I'm curious if ByuN actually commits even further. He's going to be delaying his 3rd CC, goes straight for the starport even. Goes straight for the starport. And Dark, he's rushing into Roaches. 11 Roaches on the way. Stim is going to finish. And Dark is doubling down. He's cutting workers here at 36. He has the 3rd base, yes, but only for Larva. And Dark, he's sending everything across the map. Ravagers being morphed in. It's all or nothing for Dark. And ByuN has no idea. Because ByuN has been contained, he hasn't been able to scout. He doesn't see the 3rd. He doesn't see the lack of saturation. And he doesn't see the army. ByuN doesn't know. No bunker, no tank, no nothing. And here we go, we're pushing in. The Ravagers have now been revealed. The production is under fire. Tech lab's going down, reactors as well. The boys are being pulled. The files, oh my god. The files are insane, and this is not going to be a good trade. We do break through the links though. Will we take some files to the face? Can we break through? Oh, it's so close. We barely don't get on top of the Ravagers. Add-ons going down, depots as well. Tank is on the way, but the factory's on the low ground. Not like this. Oh my god, we pile down the Raxes. Boys are being pulled once again. We get on top of one Ravager. The Biles. Hey, oh my god, we dodged the Biles. The boys once again getting on top of this. Another Ravager goes down. And another, we're down to 5. Down to 4 Ravagers. It's barely enough. The tank is on the way. And it comes out just in time. Oh my god. Takes a lot of hits, but it survives. But again, the factory is under fire and is going to be able to hold on. ByuN, he's holding. Did lose a lot of workers. Did lose most of his economy, unfortunately. But he has the high ground. There's no high ground vision here for Dark. Overlord is repositioning. We have Overlord speed on the way. Dark, he could drone if he wants to. He could drone, but no. He wants to double down. He wants to be aggressive. ByuN, he's going for the Overlord. He knows. He knows that all he needs is deny the high ground vision. Deny this Overlord. He's going for it. Oh my god. Down to almost half HP. But we have a second Overlord coming in from behind. And here we go. The army has arrived. Biles will connect the tank. Unsieges is saved. Oh my god, the hot pickup. The tanks are surviving, but nothing else is. GG gets called, and Dark pulls it off with a 2-base all-in. It takes down ByuN, and Dark is going to be this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark for taking it in the end here. I'm curious, for those wondering, this is the LE version. This is the LE version, not the ESL version when it comes to what happened to that Reaper. And that was huge. That was huge, of course, for ByuN to lose map control. I mean, to be fair, with link speed coming into play, ByuN would have been forced back regardless, I imagine. And it would have been so difficult for ByuN to recover from there. Or to actually get a read on what was going on, to get a read on the all-in. And with that, GG, congratulations. Congratulations to Dark. It went down to the ace match, went down to the wire in the end, and I mean, shout out to ByuN, of course, as well, for making it here to the finals, for making it here, and even drawing out the ace match as well. It was great. It was beautiful. It was beautiful what we saw between these two players, and yeah, GG, well played in the end. Oh, and that wraps up ESL Open Cup Asia for now. If you're unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, if you want some more StarCraft action, ESL Open Cup Europe is in a couple of hours. Let me just double check. Europe is in 4 hours and 25 minutes. We won't be covering it, but I'm sure Wardy or Steadfast or some of the other community casters will be all over that, so they got you covered with the European version of this tournament. We typically don't stay up for that. I'm incredibly tired. I don't know if you can hear me slurring my words in the finals, but like it's been a long day. Been a long day. I made the mistake of like streaming for 6 hours earlier. That was probably not the best move. And it's been a really intense month of StarCraft, covering ESL Masters Winter and WTL. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of casting going on here, and thankfully things are going to calm down a little bit. ESL Masters Winter has wrapped up, so instead of casting like 3 events in a day, it's down to like 2. So manageable. It's all good. So yeah, we're going to be able to just ease our way into the rest of this month and eventually ramp up again for DreamHack Atlanta and Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup is around the corner. We may be a part of that as well. We'll see. I did reach out to Take, and we'll find out if there's going to be a side stream available. If so, then we're going to be all over that. Otherwise, Home Story Cup is also around the corner. also right around the corner. When it comes to more action happening here on the CranKy Ducklings, we should be live in how many hours? 12 hours? 11 hours? In 11 hours time, we're going to be live with ESL Open Cup Americas, the Americas variation of variation of this tournament. We should be live here on the CranKy Ducklings. We're also going to be doing a GSL replay cast in just under 24 hours on this channel as well. We're going to be covering the round of 8 of GSL, so plenty of StarCraft going on. We have Kung Fu Cup, World Team League. We have a show match on Thursday, Honmono versus Miyamaika, best of 19. Crazy. But a best of 19 show match is on Thursday, and we have the House Open Cup, which is a Polish only tournament that we're going to be covering on Wednesday night as well. Then over the weekend, KSL, Grand Platypus Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup. As always, our weekends are stacked full of StarCraft. And yeah, again, you know, if you enjoyed the cast, if you enjoyed the coverage, we're live here on a daily basis on the CranKy Ducklings, and we typically are live multiple times a day as well. We take pride in the fact that I think we're live, as all the other community caches go, I think we're live more than Wardy, more than Steadfast. We do our best. We do our best. We do our best here on the CranKy Ducklings, and yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you did enjoy. Otherwise, we're done. We are done for now. We are done for the day. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We appreciate it. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who. We typically try to raid smaller streamers. So we'll see who is available. And yeah, give them a chance. Give them some love. Oh, Showtime just went live. You can raid Showtime. Who else? I'm just gonna do a quick scan here, but yeah, stick around, give them a chance. Whoever we do decide to raid, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of great content available for you. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching. You can follow us on all the social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on Discord. We have a Discord server. We upload on YouTube on a daily basis. We're a little bit behind. Unfortunately, we upload one tournament a day on YouTube, and we're usually casting like 2 or 3, so we're actually like 3 months behind on YouTube. And I don't want to spam too much. I don't want to spam uploads too much, but we'll catch up eventually, I'm sure. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But we have a YouTube channel, so if you want to tune in to more of our broadcasts, you can check them out on YouTube. Otherwise, you can also support us on Patreon and other platforms. Yeah, with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're done for tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Open Cup Americas. Until then, thank you for watching. Hasta luego. Bye. Hasta luego.